Welcome to the Lady Cardinals Senior Night 2019. We are honored to have the visiting Carpenteria. Number 6, Adriana Camposona. Number 8, Sarah Weitzman. Number 9, Sadie Mead. Number 10, Michelle Alpizar. Number 14, Emily Montoya. And number 15, Yareli Navarro. Now, your Lady Cardinals. First, Sarah Elizabeth Cruz Rivera, escorted by Patricia Rivera and Jose Cruz. Position middle blocker, number 16, enjoys hiking, spending time with family and friends. Her future goal is to be successful and be an occupational therapist. Position middleback, number 12, parents escorted by Irene, Tony, and what she enjoyed was playing all 4 years and playing with so many amazing girls and coaches. I learned to love the sport and we finally had a lock-in for my senior year. Her future goal is to go to a university and major in psychology to become a counseling psychologist for middle school kids. Gutierrez, position setter, number 7, escorted by her mom and little brother. What she enjoys is enjoy bonding with my team. Future goals in the future, I'm not sure yet, but I know I will be successful in whatever I want to do. Now, Karina Villegas, position defense specialist, number 21, escorted by her brother and niece, Omar Diaz and Hope Diaz. What she enjoyed was the experience she had with this team. Future goal is to go to Northridge University to become a pediatric nurse. Now enjoy the game and let's go Cardinals.
Well, as you heard, ladies and gentlemen, that was senior night tonight. It's San Paulo Girls Volleyball versus Carpenteria Warriors. It'll be a good matchup. Whoever wins actually will be advancing to CIF for that second place spot. As you know, Nordhoff is undefeated and just been totally dominating this league, but as you see, both these teams have been resilient and been determined to get that second place spot. So we'll see what happens tonight. Should be a great matchup, and as you go back down to the field to the rest of the team taking their pictures with all the seniors down there. Like I was saying, both teams have decent records. Both teams have lost to Nordhoff, as again Nordhoff has just been dominant throughout this league. But San Paulo looking tonight to capture that second place finish in the Citrus Coast League and hopefully advance to CIF, as they were CIF champs in 1982. That was a long time ago. And they were CIF semifinalists in 1984. So it should be a good matchup. San Paulo looking to make CIF probably for a long time. As we should pan back over here to the man Lebo. As he was saying, he did a great job. He did a great job of introducing the girls, as you see down there. The team is going to go into their tunnel. We do have the cheerleaders here tonight, as again it is senior night, so a special occasion, as there are more fans than what we usually have, all here supporting the Lady Cardinals. As again for Varsity, there are 5 sets. It is best of 5. There are no 3, unlike in JV and Frosh where there is best of 3. This is the highest level of competition in high schools, and so it is best of 5. San Paulo has been very, very resilient and determined on this court when they're playing at home. They have shown that they can come back from leads and they can control the games. There have been times where it looked like the game was going to slip out of their hands, but they did end up capturing that third set to end up winning the whole game. So hopefully tonight San Paulo can get a clean sweep as teams go under the net, tell each other good luck, and we're going to start off. As it is loud tonight, because it is senior night. I don't know what it is. I'll just hold it like this. As teams are in their huddle, San Paulo probably gonna do their tradition they do. They do every game where they pat down on the court. You see what Carpenteria does. As San Paulo's only home loss is to Nordhoff, who is in first place. So looking to remain, to keep their record here at home. They've been a very, very dominant team at home. As it is, the game is up to 25. First to 25. You can score on offense and defense. As the lineup tonight for San Paulo, there will be 3 seniors on the court. Syracuse, Abby Gutierrez. Actually, all 4 seniors are going to start with Yahara Gonzalez, number 12, alongside Dana Aguilar, number 16, Syracuse, who is a senior, 13, Serena Campos, 21, Karina Villegas, and Abby Gutierrez, number 7. And Ophelia Qualls will be stepping on to take off Yahira, or it looks as it will be that way. and she is taking off your Hira. So it is all seniors on the court at one time. And look to start and get under the way. Again, the introductions for senior night was our own Laborio Gudillos, who is part of the Santa Paula broadcast team, and he did a great job introducing the seniors. And me and Angel, who are here doing the first set. Hopefully Angel doesn't pass out. And her off. Abby Gutierrez, a senior, with the serve as it goes out of bounds. First point of the night for Varsity goes to Santa Paula as it catch up to that 1-0 lead. As you've seen before, Santa Paula, they have came back from a lot of gaps. And here we got Abby Gutierrez with the serve, gets it over the net. Number 7 of Carpenteria bumps it up to Sarah Cruz, who hits it down to number 9. And at this point, Santa Paula, Carpenteria might have touched the net or their foot went over the line. As it is now 2-0. Abby Gutierrez with the serve. Gets it up over the net. Number 7 sets it up for number 8 of Carpenteria, who spikes it down. But Serena Campos was there to get it. Sarah Cruz looks to hit it over. What a great dig out from number 7 of Carpenteria, as Abby's setting up for Sarah, who lifts it over the net. As Carpenteria lacks communication between number 7 and 14, as it does go out of bounds, and Santa Paula jumps off to that early 3-0 lead. We're seeing throughout the whole season here at home, Santa Paula has been very, very dominant in the first sets. And sometimes they seem to cool off, but somehow able to continue getting those wins. As Abby has been very, very good with these serves. She's making 4 in a row. As she gets it up over the net to number 7, who now serves it up to number 8. Spikes it down. Great dig out from Abby. They hit it back to Abby, and she gets it over the net. 7 setting up for number 9. Looks to spike it down. Great dig out from Karina, as it goes back to Karina, as Ophelia calls it off as she gets it over the net. Great dig out from Karina. Gives Carpenteria their first point. That was the first really big rally of the night, as it is now 3-1. Again, the seniors playing with a little more, I say a little more heart because it is senior night, so they're trying to show off on the last possible home game. As Dana tips it over. A great saves from Carpenteria. As Karina hits it, saves it. Dana runs towards the ground and is able to get it back onto the court. Great over from Ophelia. Number 2, great bump up from Karina. Abby hits it over the net. Was probably looking to set it up, as it's back to Karina. Abby hits it backwards to Karina. Great save. Back-to-back rallies between these two teams. One hits it over the net, right to Sarah Cruz, and it just bounced off with her left hand, and this is now 3-2. As number 9 for Carp will be serving. She gets it over the net, right to Ophelia Cross. She's able to dig it out and gets it over the net. 7 setting it up for 8. We also hit it over. She couldn't spike it down. Sarah spikes it down, calls it off from Abby. As 8 sets it up for 2, who spikes it down. As Ophelia tried to hit it with that left hand, but couldn't get a lock wrist on it, and is now 3-3. This has been back and forth the game, even though Santa Paula did jump off to that hot start of 3-0. As Carpenteria has been able to fight back. 3-9 with the serve. Abby setting it up for Ophelia. Now she almost runs into the pole, and a lack of communication between Carp, as 3 players ran to the ball, but then at the exact same moment they all ran away. As Ophelia gets a point for Santa Paula. It is now 4-3. Getting some of that senior magic, as it will be the first sub of the game, as Karina, the senior, will be stepping off for Alex. Number 24. Number 13, Serena Campos, will be serving. A line drive spike right to number 9, who hits it out of bounds. That was a great spike from Serena, as it is now 5-3. Serena looking to serve again. As it goes out of bounds, put a little too much power on it. That could have been the result the last time, but as it was a direct line drive, to one of the players as it did go out of bounds. As number 15 will be serving. As Serena almost out of bounds, but a great save from Diana. 7 setting up for number 2, who spikes it down. Ophelia setting up back to Abu, who sets it up backwards to Diana. And that is a point. Number 9 wasn't there for Carp as it just floats over the Carpenteria's head onto that back line. And it is now 6-4. As Sarah Cruz will be serving for the first time tonight here in this first set. 6-4. If you're just joining us, it is senior night here in Santa Paula with a very, very large crowd. As that is point for Santa Paula. 14 thought it was going out of bounds. And Carpenteria has been giving Santa Paula these points as there's a major, major lack of communication between the players and just giving Santa Paula those points. Sarah looking to make it back-to-back points for Santa Paula. As she hits it over the net to number 2, sets it up. Back to number 2, looks to spike it down. As it goes out of bounds, Santa Paula increasing the lead they had when they started. It is now 8-4, largest lead of the night for Santa Paula. As Sarah with the serve. Gets it up and over to 14, who bumps it up to 7, who sets it up for 8. Looks to spike it out. As that was point, Carpenteria, the officials looked a little confused there as it might have hit that right side of the court. It is now 8-5. Number 8 with the serve. Gets it over the net. And that is out of bounds. It is now 9-5. Substitution now. Number 3 of Carpenteria will be stepping on, taking out number 8. And Ophelia does step on, taking out Sarah Cruz, who had a good little run of serves. 14 setting it up for 7, who sets it up for 2. Actually 10. Great block from Yahaira, but no one was there to support her. It gives the point to Carpenteria. Is now 9-6. Substitution, number 17. Carla Aguilar will be stepping on to take off number 10, Diana Aguilar. As number 2 looks to serve. It's up over the net to Serena, who sets it up for Avi. Alex was looking to hit it over the net. That is now 9-7. He's number 2 with the serve. It's up and over. Abby setting up for Yahaira, who spikes it. Who looked to spike it into that left side of Nordhoff's court, but it did go out of bounds. It was down 9-8, giving Santa Paula only a 1-point lead. Number 2 with the serve to Carla, who sets it up for Ophelia. Hits it back over to Abby, who gets it over the net. A 7 setting it up for 9. Spikes it down. As I feel that was a great effort to dig it out, as we're all tied at 9. Nordhoff has closed down that 8-4 gap they were behind the deficit. Ophelia sets it up for Abby. Sets it up for Alex, who spikes it out of bounds. Carpenteria's first lead of the night is now 10-9. Carpenteria is on, well, they were on a 4-0 run, but is now tied all at 10. Again, no team has been able to get a lead of greater than 4. Both teams have been staying close and has been competitive throughout the first set. As we're almost at the halfway mark of this set, as Abby sets it up for Yahaira, who spikes it right into number 10's hands as they block it. It's now 10-11. Substitution now, Karina will be stepping on, taking off Alex. And number 1 steps on to take off number 15 of Carp. So number 14 looks to serve for Carpenteria. A lefty. We haven't seen a lefty a whole lot this season. We saw maybe 1 or 2. as Abby looked to set up for Yahaira, but it got too close to the net, giving Carp the largest lead of the night of 2. Number 14 has been serving the ball great, as she has been giving Carpenteria the points they need. The lefty, she just lofts it over the net. Doesn't have a whole lot of power in those serves, but she's able to get it right into those gaps. As sort of like a rainbow serve, but it's effective. As a great block from Yahaira, as it happened to her in the last point, but she's able to get some revenge back on that serve. Is now 11-12. Sarah steps on, taking off Ophelia, the 2 seniors, swapping out. As Yahaira looks to serve, trying to get St. Paul that lead back. As it goes out of bounds, it's 11-13 now. Substitution, 8 stepping on for number 3, and Yahaira steps off for Ophelia, number 23. Number 7, serving the first time for Carp. As Karina hits it out of bounds, she didn't seem to lock her hands, and it just kind of just skewed off of her wrist. It's now 11-14. Seven with the serve. Right to Carla Avila, as that's back-to-back serves from Carpenteria with a hit to the St. Paul players, and they can't control the serve. And they hit directly out of bounds. The coach giving them tips on how to hold their hands as they look to bump it up or set it up for their teammates. 7 with the serve. Again, that's 3 in a row. Where off the serve, St. Paul cannot control it, and they hit it out of bounds. As it is the first timeout of the night, St. Paul did have an 8-4 lead, but Carp has been able to bring it back, and now they are up by 5. It is now 11-16. As we are back from that timeout, St. Paul first to step onto the court after their own timeout. As again, if you're just joining us, it is senior night for the St. Paul. We're here in the McMahon Gym. Whoever wins this game is most likely going to secure that second place spot here in the Citrus Coast League. But you know, anything could happen. A 7 with the serve. Right to Karina. As that's 4 in a row where St. Paul cannot control the serve. That is now 11-17. The coach probably talked to them during that timeout on how to hold it in secure position, but we'll see what happens now. It's number 7 with the serve. As that goes out, St. Paul ends the drought of them giving Carp the free points, as there will be a substitution. Carla stepping off and Diana stepping on, as Abby is back to serving as she did how she started the game. It's now 12-17. St. Paul able to stop that 5-0 run from Carpenteria. As Abby with the serve, as it goes out of bounds, as it is now 12-18. As 9 looking to serve it on the other side of Carp's court. As they hit it to Ophelia, who sets it up for Abby, who sets it up for Sarah. She hits it with the left hand. Great dig out from Carp. Number 1 looks to spike it, and she does. As Karina tried to dive for it, and it goes off her hands. It's now 12-19. Carp only now 6 points away from securing that first set win and starting off 1-0. Again, it is first to 3, so nothing really matters after this first set. That was a great hit up from Abby as it looked to bounce off her neck almost. And that is already 3 hits. A lot of communication between St. Paul, the first of the night for them, as it is now 12-20. As there's a substitution, number 2 stepping off for number 5 of Carp. Carp only needs 5 more points. A 9 with the serve. As Abby sets it up. There's almost a lack of communication between the two. The ball could have bounced through. As 5 tried to tip it over between Sarah and Diana, but they're too tall as they jumped up. And they're able to block it. It's now 13-20. And Serena now with the serve. Serena Campos, number 13. Number 14. As number 7 did hit the net of Carp, as it was too close, giving St. Paul the point. Now 14-20. As Serena now looks to serve. Hits it over, and is out of bounds. 14-21. Carpenteria only 4 points away. As 14 steps off for number 10 and number 1 stepping off for number 15. Number 15 looking to serve. This Carp is probably looking to serve within his next 4 plays, as that's all he needs, 4 points. As Karina sets it up, Sarah hits it over. 7. Up to 8, spikes it over. As Dana tried to set it up, but it just skewed off her hands too far, out of bounds. It's now 14-22. It's 15 with the serve. Karina up to Abby, sets it up for Sarah. As 2, spikes it down. As Serena tried to dig it out. It's now 14-23. .15 now with the serve. Hits it directly into the net, giving St. Paul a lifeline. Is now 15-23. As Ophelia will step off for Yahira. And Sarah Cruz looks to serve for St. Paul, trying to get some big points on the board here. As Carp only needs 2 more points to get this first set. And that goes out of bounds. Oh, it didn't go out of bounds. As the Carp, it looked up here that I was out of bounds, but I swim down there to have a better perspective and view. As it gives St. Paul the point. Now 16-23. 8. Diana, what a great save from Diana. As Serena gets it over too far. Now 16-24, match point for Carpenteria. Substitution now 3, stepping on for 8. And Syracuse stepping off. And Ophelia Qualls stepping on to the court. As there's a match point, number 3, looking to secure that match point for Carpenteria. So they are with the serve. Serena says Abby to Diana, who gets it over to 15 of Carp. 7, setting up for 2, who looks to end it right here. As it's a great block from Yahira. As Carpenteria gets to 25. And that's the end of the first set. Well, I've been Chris Garcia. The score was 16-25. Stay tuned, as we will be doing the rest of the game in set 2. And I'll be back in the third set as we have Eli coming on for set number 2. And we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
listen to you. Going home, so.
Hey, have a good night.
Say hello to Bob and on his trip home. Everything I want to tell everybody, you got to build a team just like they're building a team. For volleyball, we're building a team for volleyball.
Was this one means Don or? Yeah. Okay. Hello and welcome everybody. It's here at the Santa Paula High School McMahon gym for the varsity volleyball against Santa Paula and Carpenteria. Here we are starting the second set. Girls had lost the first set. It was 25-13, I believe. And now we will resume as we start the game. All right, here on the court for Santa Paula, we have number 16, Sarah Cruz, number 13, Serena, number 7, Abby Gutierrez, number 21, Karina Villegas, number 12, Yahaira Gonzalez, number 17, Carla Avalar, and a trade is being made, or number 23, Ophelia, seems to be waiting to be moved in, but she moves in to replace Yahaira. And for here on Carpenteria, we have number 1, 8, and 9 in the forward. Numbers 2 and 10 in the mid support. The trade between number 10 and 14, and number 7 will be serving for Carpenteria. Pretty difficult first set against Santa Paula, but let's see if they can be able to manage to get the lead over or tie the set to Carpenteria. But number 7 makes the serve, and Sarah gets it just over the hands of number 1 to score the point, score the first point for Santa Paula in this set. So here, trade is being made between Carla Avalar and Diana Aguilar, number 10 and 17. And number 7, Abby, will be serving for Santa Paula. He's given the clear to serve. And the serve is good. A deep dig by number 2. 7 sets it up for 8 and just gets it over the hands of Sarah and Diana, and no one's able to get to the ball in time, and Carpenteria scores. So here number 9 on Carpenteria will be serving over to the Lady Cardinals. And the serve is good as Karina sets it over to Abby, but there seems to be a mix-up for Diana, unable to get to the ball, and Carpenteria scores. So once again, number 9 for Carpenteria is clear to serve. And Ophelia gets the good bump over to Karina, and Diana gets it back over to Carpenteria's side as Carpenteria sets it up ready to get it over the hands, but Abby saves the ball to keep the ball rallied back over to Carpenteria. Number 9 goes back to 7 and sets it up for 2 as she hits it out of bounds, and Santa Paula scores to tie the game 2-2.
Can't hear audio.
Can't hear it? Apparently Carpenteria had touched the ball and Santa Paula scores their point. Number 13, will be serving. Santa Paula serves it over to Carpenteria, and number 2 sets it up back. And good save by Serena, and good spike back over to Santa Paula, but Santa Paula is able to keep the ball alive as Carpenteria sets it over, but Carpenteria hits it out of bounds for Santa Paula, able to grasp their point. So here Serena, number 13 for Santa Paula, gets the clear to go to serve over to Carpenteria. Number 14 bumps it over to 7 and sets it up for number 2. And Ophelia digs the ball and over to Abby, and Diana gets it back over. Carpenteria able to get to the ball in time, and Santa Paula scores, being at 5 and Carpenteria 2. Number 2 hits it real high and over to 14, and then it hits it out of bounds for Santa Paula to score their point. So Serena will be serving over to Carpenteria, and the serve is good. And number 8 hits it over back to Serena as Abby sets it up for Karina and hits it just in bounds as Carpenteria thought it would be out of bounds, and Santa Paula scores.
Are you listening to it right now? No. Did you turn the switch on? Or was it on? Right now? Okay, thanks. Okay,
So a trade is being made between number 10, 14, and 15 and 1 for Carpenteria's side. Santa Paula had hit the ball outside, so Carpenteria will be serving as number 15. The serve is good as Karina bumps it back over to Carpenteria's side as they work their way, sets it over to 12, but she hits the net, and Santa Paula scores. And the trade is made on Carpenteria's side between number 14 and 15. And Ophelia will be traded in for Yahaira on Santa Paula. So here number 16, Sarah Cruz, will be serving from Santa Paula's side. The serve is good. Number 9 sets it over to 7 and sets it up for 2. It hits it over, but Serena is able to keep the ball alive as Abby sets it up for Diana, which 9 rebounds, and then number 2 spikes, hits it back over to Santa Paula as Sarah bumps it over to Abby, and then Karina hits it outside, unfortunately, and Carpenteria scores, being halfway from Santa Paula at 4 and Santa Paula 8. And a trade has been made between Sarah Cruz and Ophelia Qualls, and number 3 and 8 for Carpenteria will be switched. Number 3 will be serving from Carpenteria's side, and she's given the clear to serve. The serve goes over to Serena as Abby sets it up for Yahaira, but she can't hit the ball correctly, and Carpenteria scores. Again, as Carpenteria is getting ready to serve. The serve is good as Serena bumps the ball over to Abby, and Abby gets to Diana, and Diana gets it back over to Carpenteria's side. As 7 sets it up for 3, gets it back over, and Abby sets it up for Diana, who's able to successfully get the ball back over to Carpenteria's side. And number 2 hits it over to Ophelia, but she hits it out of bounds, with Carpenteria scoring once again. The score now being at Santa Paula 8, Carpenteria 6. Carpenteria is getting ready to serve. The serve is good as Karina goes over to Abby and back to Diana, who gets it out of bounds for Carpenteria to get their next point. Number 3 from Carpenteria serves it over to Serena, back over to Abby, up until Yahaira, who gets it back to Carpenteria's side as number 9 digs to 7 and sets it up for 2, but just gets it in between all the girls to score their point. Now the game is tied 8-8. serve goes over to Serena, over to Ophelia. Yahaira gets it back over the net. But Carpenteria keeps the ball alive as they send it over to Santa Paula side, and Santa Paula works their way back over to Carpenteria, and Carpenteria keeping the ball alive as they both shuffle, but number 2 hits the net for Santa Paula to gain their point. So here Diana Aguilar will be from Santa Paula will be serving over to Carpenteria, and the serve is good as it goes to 14. Number 7. Well, good block by number 12 over to Carpenteria, but the Carpenteria gets the ball back over to Santa Paula as they work their way, as Diana gets it back over the net. And number 7 sets it up for number 3 as Ophelia tries to keep the ball but hits it out of bounds for Carpenteria to score and tie the game at 9-9. So a trade is being made between Diana Aguilar and Carla Abelar, number 17. So here number 2 on Carpenteria will be serving over to Santa Paula. The serve is out and Santa Paula scores their point. Seems to be a little confusion, but as Karina gets ready to serve over to Carpenteria. And the serve is good as number 2 bumps it over to number 7. And Yahaira tries to block it, but ends up on her side for Carpenteria to tie the score once again at 10-10. And a trade is being made between number 15 and 10. But it's going to be traded in back for number 1. Number 14 on Carpenteria will be serving. And she's given the clear to serve over to Santa Paula. And hits it just over the net as Carla tries to dig, but unable to get to anybody for Carpenteria to score at 11. So number 14 on Carpenteria's clears serve over to Santa Paula. And the serve is light, but Carla hits it back over, but Santa Paula is unable to keep the ball and send it back over to Carpenteria for Carpenteria to score their point. So the score now being Carpenteria at 12 and Santa Paula 10. And number 14 from Carpenteria will be serving, but hits the net for Santa Paula to gain their point. So the trade is being made between Sarah Cruz and Ophelia Qualls here on Santa Paula side. And Yahaira, number 12, will be serving over to Carpenteria. The serve is good as number 3 sets it up for 7, and number 9 tries to spike it, gets it just over the net as Serena sets it over to Abby, and she gets it back over the net to Carpenteria. As number 2 sets it up for 7 and up to 9. Sarah tries to go for the block, but Santa Paula keeps the ball alive. But Serena unfortunately hits the net, and Carpenteria scores their point. And a trade on Carpenteria's side is being made between number 8 and 3, with number 7 on Carpenteria's side serving over to Santa Paula. Serve is good as Carla bumps it over to Abby, over to Karina, back over to Carpenteria. Number 2 sets it up for 9. Gets it. But Carla is able to keep the ball alive as Serena just hits it over Carpenteria's hands to gain their point. Santa Paula being just 1 point under at 12 and Carpenteria at 13. We hear Abby Gutierrez will be serving on Santa Paula's side over to Carpenteria. The serve is good as number 14 bumps it over to 7 and sets it up for 8. And Ophelia digs to keep the ball alive as Diana gets it just back over the net. But Carpenteria manages to keep the ball alive as Santa Paula keeps the rally going as Sarah gets it back over to Carpenteria. As number 7 on Carpenteria sets it up for 8. Gets it just in, but Abby hits it out of bounds for Carpenteria to score at 14 and Santa Paula 12. So here on Carpenteria, number 9 will be serving over to Santa Paula. The serve is good as Serena bumps it over to Abby as Sarah Cruz tries to spike it, but Carpenteria keeps the ball. Hits it just in bounds for Carpenteria to score their point. So number 9 once again will be serving on Carpenteria's side as she's given the clear. The serve goes over to Karina as Abby bumps it over to Diana to get it back over to Carpenteria's side. The number 9 bumps it over to 7, sets it up for 2. But Karina tries to go for a dig, but unfortunately hits the ball out of bounds, with Carpenteria scoring to be at 16 and Santa Paula 12. So the serve from Carpenteria just makes it over the net as the ball bounces off the chest of Karina out of bounds for Carpenteria to score once again. The timeout has been called on Santa Paula's side, as we will resume shortly. So here, as the timeout comes to a close, the players go to their positions, and number 9 from Carpenteria will be serving over to Santa Paula. Serve is good as Serena bumps it over to Abby as Diana hits the net for Carpenteria to score their next point to be at 18 and Santa Paula 12. So the serve is good as Ophelia bumps it way out of bounds for Carpenteria to score their point. Number 9 bumps it over to Abby as Diana just gets it back over the net for Carpenteria on number 7 to set it up for number 2. As they try, Santa Paula tries to block it, but unable to get the ball back over, and Carpenteria scores. Jeez. With Carpenteria just needing 5 more points to win this set, and Santa Paula at 12. The serve is good from Carpenteria as Santa Paula gets the ball back over to Carpenteria, and Karina bumps it over to Abby, who sets it up for Diana, who hits the net again, and Carpenteria scores being at 21. Number 9 on Carpenteria. It's clear to serve as she hits it over to Karina as Abby sets it up for Sarah. Gets it just over the hands of those trying to block from Carpenteria, but number 1 bumps it over to Abby as Diana sets it up for Sarah, who hits it once again over the hand of number 1 trying to block. Number 2 hits it out of bounds for Santa Paula to score their point at 13. So here, number 13, Serena will be serving on Santa Paula's side over to Carpenteria. There's a trade. Alex Oropezzo, number 24, will be trading with number 21, Karina Villegas, to be a forward. So the serve is good from Serena as number 1 hits it over, but Serena keeps the ball alive as Carpenteria is working the way to rally the ball back over, but hits it out of bounds for Santa Paula to score again. So Serena once again will be serving over to Carpenteria as she's given the clear to serve. Serve is good as number 9 bumps it over to 7, who sets it up for 8. It goes over the hands of Sarah and Alex, but the Lady Cardinals are keeping the ball alive as Alex gets it back over to Carpenteria's side. 7 just taps it over to Santa Paula, and Alex hits it deep out of bounds for Carpenteria to score. This trade is being made between number 10 and 14 on Carpenteria's side, and Carpenteria being at 22 and Santa Paula 14. And another trade is being made on Carpenteria between number 5 and 9, with number 1 on Carpenteria's side serving over to Santa Paula. So the serve is good as Ophelia bumps it up over to Abby, who sets it up for Diana, who keeps the ball just in bounds for Santa Paula to score their point. And a trade on Santa Paula's side is being made between Ophelia and Yahaira. So here Sarah Cruz, number 16 on Santa Paula, will be serving. So the serve goes over to 14, who bumps it to 7, who sets it up for 8, as Serena keeps the ball alive, but Abby hits it under the net for Carpenteria to score their next point. So a trade is being made between Ophelia and Sarah, as number 8 on Carpenteria will be serving. So the serve goes over to Ophelia as Abby sets it up for Diana. He gets the ball just over, but nobody on Carpenteria is able to make to the ball for Santa Paula to score their point, to be at 16 and Carpenteria 23. So Diana is getting ready to serve over to Carpenteria, and the serve is good as number 14 bumps it over to 7, sets it up for 2, who's successfully blocked by Yahaira for Santa Paula to score once again. It's a good block by Yahaira. So Diana again will be serving over to Carpenteria. And the serve is good as number 3 bumps it over to 7, who sets it up as Yahaira blocks the spike again, but Carpenteria has managed to keep the ball alive as Santa Paula works their way, and Alex just hits it out of bounds for Carpenteria to score their next point. Being at match point, and a trade between Diana Aguilar and Carla Avalar has been made on Santa Paula's side. And number 2 in Carpenteria will be serving over to Santa Paula to see if they can win this second set against Santa Paula. So Carla sets it over to Abby as she bumps it for Alex, who just pushes the ball over the net as number 14 gets the ball back to Santa Paula. And Santa Paula is unable to keep the ball and get it back over to Carpenteria. So that'll conclude the second set here on the varsity volleyball game here against Santa Paula and Carpenteria. It was a good effort by both teams, but Santa Paula was unable to win this second set, and hopefully we can see some different results in this third one.
Well, we're back to start the third set. Carpenteria has won the first 2 sets. As we're waiting for the buzzer, there it is. We're about to start again. Like we said, Carpenteria did win the first 2 sets 2-0, and now we will be having, I believe San Paul will be serving this third set as officials look to make sure everyone's in the right orders and the roster and lineups are correct. As it is senior night, but San Paul is down 2-0. But you never know. San Paul has been known to make comebacks. And we've seen the crazier stuff in sports, especially here at San Paul High School. So I expect them to come back. I don't see why not. Obviously, they believe that they're the better team, and as long as they think that can happen, then I'm pretty sure they can come back and win this. As Jazz Venegas will be serving. As Sue sets it up. As Ophelia look to dig it out. That is now 1-0 Carpenteria. As the energy levels here in McMahon Gym have started to gone down. As Carpenteria has been dominant in these sets, and as the ball does somehow curve onto the right side of the court, and it is now 2-0. Again, fans have started to leave as this game has gone on. Number 9 with the serve. Jasmine sets it up for Yahira. Spikes it down right into Nordhoff's hands. Alex looks to spike it over, and she does get it down past Carpenteria's blockers. It gives them the first point of the set. It's now 2-1. As Ophelia will be stepping off for Serena, and Alex looks to serve for Santa Paula. As Alex with the serve. 14-7. 8. Alex able to dig it out as Jana just lofts it over with her right hand. 8 setting up for 2, looks to spike it down. And she does to a Nelly who can't control it and hits it out of bounds. Nordhoff is up 3-1. As 6 steps on for number 14 and 1 steps off for number 15. As 15 will be serving for Carpenteria with the serve. 13. Jasmine able to get there to Diana. She's able to get over the net. 7 sets it up for 8. Alex to 22 to 13, who hits it over. And that is a point as it hits that back line. It is now 3-2. As 15 steps off and 14 steps on. As I believe Alex, yes, she will be serving. Nope, it will be Anelli serving for Santa Paula. As a substitution, Yahira steps off for Sarah Cruz. Anelli with the serve. 6 calls it off. What a great save from Anelli. 13 Serena trying to spike it over, but hits it directly into the net. It is now 2-4. As number 3 steps on, taking off number 8 for Carpenteria, and she will be serving the first time in this set for number 3. Number 3 with the serve. Diana hits it out of bounds. It is now 2-5. As Karina steps on for Alex. It's number 3 with the serve. Hits it up to Serena. Jasmine setting up for Diana, who spikes it over the net. Sanapala able to block it. Serena, what a great save from Jasmine. She's able to save it and hit it back into play. What a great left-handed hit from number 7, as gives Carpenteria the point. It is now 2-6. As number 3 will be serving for Carpenteria. She hits it over the net to Karina, to Nelly, and Jasmine looks to hit it over, and she does. 7 able to hit over Serena with the save. Diana able to keep it away from the net. Karina hits it over. 7 setting up for 2. Spikes it down right into Sarah Cruz and Diana, giving Sanapala the point. Is now 3-6. Diana with the serve. Up to 14, who bumps it up for 7, who sets it up for number 6. As Diana saves it. As Serena hit the side pole on the net, giving Carpenteria the point. It is now 3-7. Carpenteria able to maintain their lead. As Carla stepping on, taking off Diana. As officials looking to talk things over, as perhaps it was a miscommunication between the two. Yeah. Carpenteria still ends up with the point. As Carla steps on for number 10. As Jasmine went to go talk to the official. 2. As that goes out of bounds. It's now 4-7. As Alex steps on for number 21, Karina. Sanapala is only down by 3, and Serena Campos looking to serve for Sanapala. As she hits it over the net to 14, who sets it up for 2. As 7 round all the way to call it off from number 2, Anelli, to Jasmine, who sets it up for Alex. Tips it over. Able to hit the point for Sanapala, as it is now 5-7. Serena with the serve. Great serve from Serena. Number 3, who ran all the way to the bleachers as her foot saved her from her shin hitting it. As it is now 6-7. Sanapala looking to rally back and tie it up. As 2 spikes it over. The great little off spike over. It is now 6-8. As there'll be 2 substitutions for Carpenteria. 6 and 14 stepping off. Oh, never mind. 15 and I believe that was 8 stepped off for number 1, and 14 stayed on. As a lefty with the serve. Can't get it over the net. I've seen it's very rare to have lefties here serving, but we have, as Yahaira steps on for number 2, Anelli. As it is 7-8. Sarah with the serve. And there goes. As it looked like that was out of bounds, but the linesman right there calls it. As it is now 8-8. Sarah with the serve. 3-7, sets it up for 9. Spikes it down to Sarah, who's able to bump it up for Jasmine. As Yahaira tips it over to 2. 7 sets it up for 1, spikes it down. As Carla hits it, out of bounds. As Serena looked to save it. but can't get there in time. It's now 8-9. That's 3 steps off for Carpenteria and 8 steps on. And another substitution for Santa Paula as Sarah Cruz steps off and Anelli will take her place on the court. Number 7 for Carp will be serving. As Carla hits it out of bounds, as it is now 8-10. Number 7 with the serve to Carla, to Jasmine. Alex hits it over. 7 sets it up for 9 to spike it down, and she does, but Serena able to get there to dig it out. Yahaira spikes it over. Able to hit the point for Santa Paula. Is now 9-10. As Carpenteria did have a big lead to start off the set, but Santa Paula has been able to stay within at least reaching distance. It is now 9-10 as Carla steps off for number 10, Diana. Jasmine with the serve. Great save from Alex. Serena. As Alex tried to hit it over. As it is now 9-11. Number 9 with the serve. Jasmine to Yahaira. Hits it over. 7. Jasmine up to Diana. Spikes it over. In play. As it is 10-11. As it's able to float into that left side of Carpenteria's court. And it is now 10-11. Alex will be serving. Alex with the serve. Yahaira able to tip it over to 9. Diana to Yahaira, who hits it out of bounds. She had a lot of power on it, but wasn't able to get the arc on it. It is now 10-12. Double switch for Carp as 1 and 14 steps off for number 6 and the server 15. With the serve. As that was a great save from Serena and also a great save from Yahaira. But the dig wasn't able to get put in the air at a height where Santa Paula could hit over the net. As Carp is now over the halfway mark and only need 12 more to get to 25. (15) with the serve. As Serena hits it out of bounds. It is now 10-14. Substitution, Karina steps on for Alex, number 24. (15) with the serve. Gets it over the net. None of the Santa Paulas are there to get there in time, as Anelli was the closest one, but couldn't dig it out, as it is now 10-15. Number 15 with the serve. Gets it over the net, and it gets onto that back line. It is now 10-16. As both Anelli and Serena looked at each other as it bounced onto that back line. Number 15 with the serve. Hits it over to Serena. Jasmine. Great dig out. Number 8 spikes it. 15. Up to 2. Karina bumps it up to Jasmine, who sets it up for Serena. Spikes it up to number 9, 7, setting it up for number 2. Spikes it down right into Diana. And Yahaira is now 12-16. As Yahaira steps off for Sarah. And Anelli will be serving for Santa Paula. Gets it over the net to 9. Number 8 hits it over to Anelli, bumps it up for Jasmine. Sets it up for Diana, able to hit it over. 2, spikes it down. Great save from Jasmine, able to dig it out. Excuse me, that's Karina with the save. Jasmine hit it back into play. 6 hits it up to Jasmine, to Diana, to Sarah Cruz. Spikes it down. Great left-handed hit from number 7, as it is now 12-16. Anelli with the serve. 8 hits it over. Back to 21 as it hits the basket. That's a great little rally in between the two teams. Sarah hits it over. 2 gets it over to Karina. Jasmine sending it up for Sarah. As the rally finally ends, as Sarah missed the ball, it's now 12-17. Carpenteria only needs 8 more points to secure the 3-0 win. Jasmine sending it up for Sarah, who hits it down to number 9. Up to number 2. Spikes it over to Karina. Jasmine to Sarah, hits it over to 9. 7 with a great dig out. As it is point, Santa Paula 13-17. Substitution now, 3 stepping on and placing number 8 for Carpenteria. Dana hits it up to 14. 7 sets it up for 2. He spikes it down. Jasmine sent it up for Serena. And she's out of bounds. It's now 13-18. Again, this could be a deciding game in the Citrus Coast League rankings, as Nordhoff obviously is in first, as they are undefeated and beat every team in the league. And Santa Paula and Carp are fighting for that second place spot. Whoever gets it will also make it and qualify for CIF. So this is a very, very important game for both teams, as both teams have been the other dominant teams in the league. But we'll see, anything can happen. Carp could get upset and Santa Paula can remain undefeated in their next, I think, 3 or 2 games. But we'll see. As Serena is able to just loft it over the net, it's now 14-18. Santa Paula is only down by 4. And if they do win this set, they have to win the next 2, which, you know, is possible. But yeah, like I said, this is a very, very crucial game for that second place spot. Those officials are talking something over, but let me try to get my train of thought back here. Oh yeah, so second place spot. Again, Santa Paula must win their next 2 or 3 games in order to qualify for CIF. And we'll see what happens. It's now 14-19. Nordhoff, I keep calling him Nordhoff. Carpenteria only 6 points away from upsetting Santa Paula on their senior night and probably locking down that second place spot. Serena sets it up for Jasmine. 7 sets it up for 1. Spikes it directly into the net. It's 15-14. Santa Paula is only down by 4. They could come back and win the set as Jahira steps on for number 2, and Sarah Cruz looks to serve for Santa Paula. Sarah Cruz with the serve. 7 up to number 9. Spikes it out of bounds. It's now 16-19. San Paulo only down by 3, looking to close the deficit and make it all tied. Sarah with the serve. Number 1 spikes it down right to Carla. Jasmine just hits it over with both hands. As that does, scooping onto that right side of the line. As Sarah Cruz steps off for Anelli, and number 3 steps off for Carpenteria. It's now 16-20. Carpenteria only 5 points away. As it skims the net, great save and dig from Carla. Yahira hits it over. Jasmine sets it up for Yahira, who hits it directly to number 7. 8 setting it up for number 9. Spikes it down, and it goes out of bounds. 17-20. Again, San Paulo not giving up, staying determined to make this comeback. As Carla steps off for number 10, Diana. Jasmine with the serve to number 2, who hits it overhead to 7. Same for 7, hits it overhead. Jasmine setting it up for Yahira, who hits it directly in between number 8 and 1, as 8 tipped it up and 1 was supposed to get it. That is now 18-20. Jasmine with the serve. One. Jasmine sets up for Diana, who is able to hit it overhead to Karina. 7 sets it up for 8. Hits it directly into Yahira's hands. And his point, San Paulo is now 19-20. Again, San Paulo not giving up, as it is timeout for Carp. As Carp did, or close to blowing. It was about a 6-point lead, I believe. And San Paulo looking to hopefully win this 3rd set and not go home empty-handed on senior night.
Sad how empty it is now.
I know. And we are back from that timeout. Again, it's 19-20. Carpenteria had to take the timeout as San Paulo was on a rally. Trying to make this comeback here in the 3rd set. Jasmine with the serve. As number 9 looks to hit it over. Anelli looks to dig it out, but hits it out of bounds. And it's now 19-21. And now with the ball in Carpenteria's hands, Carpenteria looks to end it within these next 4 plays. As number 9 is serving it on the left side of Carpenteria's court. Karina to Jasmine, sets it up for Yahira. Hits it over to 9. 7 hits it over to Anelli, who's digging it out for Jasmine. As Karina has hit it over, and she does, but hits it out of bounds. It is now 19-22. Carpenteria only 3 points away, as 9 looks to get another point for Carpenteria. Number 9 with a serve, hits it up to Anelli, hits it to Jasmine, to Yahira, who has to hit it over. And she does, and it goes out of bounds. It is now 19-23. Carpenteria only 2 points away from completing a 3-0 sweep of San Paulo at home. 9 with the serve. Karina able to dig it out. As there's a tussle for the ball at the net, but number 1 is able to win it for Carpenteria, as it is now match point for Carpenteria. Number 9 with the serve. Tonelli. Jasmine sets it up for Diana. Hits it right into the net. And that is point Carpenteria as they do win 19-25 in this set and complete the sweep 3-0. As very, very disappointing for Santa Paula as they look to hopefully win here on their senior night, but that's how the game goes sometimes. Well, as the teams go down there and congratulate each other on their game and good luck. Santa Paula unable to get this win on their senior night as this was a very, very crucial game in the Citrus Coast League rankings. As Carpenteria now probably will be in second place, but there's still, I believe, 2 or 3 more games to go for both teams. So we'll see what happens. Santa Paula not going to give up. This has been Chris Garcia alongside Condo Sports with Eli and Lebo and Angel, who also is a cameraman. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.